Welcome back to my channel. This is a brief practice designed to alleviate any pain, any tension, any discomfort that you might be feeling, especially in your low body if you have been marching with the Black Lives Matter protests. And I myself have been out there often and have been starting to feel the physical effects of that reverberation of walking on hard pavement all day, but also the reverberation of just all of that really intense outward focus energy. And that's not to say that we're going to bring this boil down to a simmer and cool it down and keep it there, but it's a way in which to manage our energy resources and to replenish these reserves so that we're able to continue and proliferate this movement to make sure that we are effective allies and that we are taking care of ourselves and doing what we can to not burn ourselves out completely. So when you're ready, we're going to begin on our back. So we're going to be doing a lot of really easeful and gentle movements to kind of temper the intensity in that, like I said, that outward focus. So it'll be pretty quiet practice. And if you have a blanket or a bath towel, I have my Mexican blanket here, but a bath towel works well. So a bolster is great too. We're going to be using that at the end of our practice. So anyway, coming back down with the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor. And take a few deep breaths to meet yourself right where you are. One of the most poignant moments for me at our Black Lives Matter protest here in Portland, Maine was beginning our protest with 10 grounding breaths as a group. And so as you begin to settle in here, just start to notice your breath. Release that urge to judge or evaluate any of these sensations. And just letting your awareness flutter down onto your breath. And feeling the backside of your body. Noticing the quality. Noticing the heat. Is it cold? Is it hot? Noticing parts of you that feel heavy, maybe they feel light. And even bring your awareness to the surface of your skin. Can you feel the air around you kind of hugging you and holding you in here? And that delicate wrap of the skin around all of our muscles, our tissues, our bones, our circulatory system. Noticing that gentle pulse of your breath, a gentle pulsation of energy existing even as you're resting here on the floor. On your next exhalation, draw your navel in towards your spine and just deflate yourself with the breath, from the breath, so to speak. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. Breathe it out through the mouth. Feeling all the particles settle. And then slowly draw your right knee in towards your chest. And keep your left knee bent. And we'll roll through this exercise about 10 times. So as you take a deep breath in and stretch and point through the toes. So it's really not super active. It's just a reach, just make the shape. And then exhale, bend the knee and flex your foot, draw it in. 9 more times just like that. Inhale, point and stretch, not going for a lot of sensation. And then exhale, bend and flex. And 8 more, inhale, point and stretch. Exhale, bend and flex. Inhale, point, stretch. Exhale, bend and flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, bend and flex. 5 more, inhale, point. Exhale, bend and stretch. Inhale, point. Exhale, bend and stretch. Last 3, inhale, point. Exhale, bend. Inhale, point. Exhale, bend. Inhale, point. Exhale, bend. And then just let that right foot get soft and heavy. Let it go a little bit limp here, and you can grab the top of your knee or keep your hands underneath the knee joint if you like, and just stir the femur bone into the hip socket like you're stirring a big pot of soup. A little bit more mobility and lubrication for the tissues here and this ball and socket joint. And then slowly release your right foot down. And grab behind your left thigh. And 10 more times just like that on this left side. Remember, we're not really going for sensation here. So as you point and stretch, you might feel some stretch, but don't be greedy. Don't try to push it here. Just make the shape, stretch your leg, bend and flex. Keep going. And try to sync that movement with your breath and feel the fluidity as the muscles and the tissues glide over one another as you're just straightening and bending. 5 more. And kind of imagine that you're smoothing out the kinks. Last 2 here. Inhale, point and stretch. Exhale, bend. Inhale, point and stretch. Exhale, bend. Letting that left foot just kind of hang. And when you're ready, taking whatever hand position feels the most easeful for you as you gently circle the left leg and the left hip. And slowly rest your left foot back down. Just take a pause. Notice, feel, and tap back into your breath if you've lost that connection to it. And from here, you're going to cross your right ankle over the left knee. And as you pick your left foot up off the floor, thread your hands in between that space so that you can interlace behind the left thigh. Here in reclined pigeon, we're going to stay for another 4 rounds of breath. So keep the right foot flexed. And know that the closer you draw that left knee in towards you, the more intense of a stretch you're going to feel. So don't over effort to the point where you're clenching or gripping and not breathing. We want to allow this practice to kind of restore the flow, both in and throughout us. And enjoy one more round of breath right where you are. And then exhale to slowly release. And uncrossing the legs, switching sides, crossing left ankle over right knee, flexing the left foot as you draw your right knee in towards you. Clasp your hands behind the right thigh. You can use that left elbow to kind of nudge the left knee forward, but again, don't overdo it. So if you're really tight from all of that walking, then this is just going to be a really gentle and easeful practice. And 3 more rounds of breath. Notice if you're clenching in the jaw or even around the low back and the glute muscles. And soften and soften. less constriction, and more ease, and more release. And slowly release. And roll over to your left or your right side. And then gently press yourself up. We're going to come right into an active child's pose. And the difference between a regular child's and active is that you'll curl your toes under, spread your knees nice and wide, and slink your hips back as you slide the hands forward, eventually letting the forehead rest down on the mat. So we're getting a nice stretch in the feet, while also relaxing the upper body and stretching the low back. Take a deep breath into your belly. And exhale, breathe it out. And just let that breath rinse through you from head to toe. And allow the forehead to sink. Allow the back of the neck to be soft. And reach a little longer through the arms so that you feel the stretch around the front and the side of your chest, maybe even into the back of your heart. And slowly walk yourself up onto your knees, staying in this tucked toe position. And go ahead and reach back and just manually spread out the space in between your feet. This might be really intense. I'm going to slide forward. This might be really intense if you have very tight feet from walking. I know I do. So at any point you can come out of it. But we're going to stoke that inner fire a little bit more so that we can start to synergize this cooling and this heating effect that gives rise to our more outward focused energy. And so interlace your hands and stretch your arms straight out in front of you. Gently pull the ribs back and down, and inhale the arms up and overhead. And pull the pinkies down as you press up through the palms. Try not to flare the ribs forward, but instead keep drawing them back. A little cinch of the waistline as you inhale and lengthen through the crown of your head. Feel that long column of your spine. And breathe. And just dialing things up a little bit and kind of layering sensation into this more easeful practice. And notice that little increase of heat as you hold here for another round of breath. Just stay with it. Use your breath to cool and calm. Ooh, I'm flaring. I'm a rib flarer. And then slowly release the hands down. Give everything a little shake. Exhaling out through the mouth if that's nice. Untuck the toes. A little shake of the toes as well. And you're just going to step that right foot forward in front of you. And untuck the back toes. So with the right knee stacked right over the ankle, place both hands on top, slide the hips back so they're right stacked on over that left knee. Left knee and your whole left leg. We got this. Good. Interlace your hands behind your head. And slowly pull the elbows in towards you and just use the thumbs to lift up on the base of the skull. A nice long column of the spine, nothing too intense or too fast here. So we're just going to roll through this gentle opening and stretch, another 10 rounds here. So on your inhale, spread the elbows out to the side, bend forward, lift your chest and your chin. Exhale, pull everything right back to where it was. Inhale forward, exhale back, inhale open, exhale close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Remembering not to get too greedy and wanting to push into a deeper sensation. Just really gentle. And that was 5. Inhale, 4. 3. And 2. And 1. And from here, gently lower the hands down. And you can either straighten the right leg all the way into a runner's stretch, draw the right hip back and start to point through the toes. Or tuck the back toes and straighten both legs. Inhale to lengthen the sternum forward, draw the low ribs and the belly in, and fold forward over the front leg. Now, either way, you're going to get a really big stretch in that outer right hip and the outer right leg, the IT band. You'll feel the calf muscle in the front of your shin and your ankle. Woo. And feeling the circulation move back down into these tight, intense areas, just kind of rinsing all of that tension out. Okay, enjoy another round of breath right where you are. And then slowly release and switch sides. And stepping the left foot forward, doing whatever you need to do to get it there. Placing both hands on top of the left knee, ground yourself down, untuck your back toes. A little cinch in of the low belly and the waistline. Interlace your hands behind the base of your skull, a little lift and tug up. Some help from your thumbs. And point the elbows forward. Keep a nice straight and tall spine. Inhale, open and bend forward just a couple of inches. Exhale, come back. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, draw back in. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open, lift your chest and your chin. Exhale, close. Really important to get that upper spine involved. Lift, close. 5 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Last 3. Inhale, open. One last time. Lift your chest and chin. Exhale, return back to neutral. Lower the hands down. And again, choose your own adventure. So you're probably feeling pretty tight here. I know that I am for sure. And either that low runner's lunge, pointing through the toes, really stretching the front of the ankle, or lift everything up off of the mat. Parsvottanasana, intense side body stretch. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold if you're not already there. And breathe. And imagine that fluid just washing through the tightness, moving any stagnant energy out of the body. And gently hug the legs in and up for a little support, not too much here. And then slowly release. And if you can, step 1 foot forward, so the back foot forward. And then bend your knees, come all the way down to sit. Otherwise, just come down to sit. Grab your blanket or your towel, and you're gonna roll it up into a nice long, nice tight burrito roll, or taquitos, your dish of choice. And you're gonna place it on the upper third of your mat right here. So this is a nice heart opener. Just undoing all the effects of gravity and really enjoying the stretch and the release in the upper back. So make sure that as you lay back over the blanket roll, that the bottom of the shoulder blades are gonna hook over the blanket and the arms can come out either straight to the side or elbows bent. And you can choose a nice constructive rest for the legs, let the knees knock in and the feet come nice and wide, or maybe straighten them all the way and just notice how that feels. And allow the back of the heart to sink down into the support of your prop. And feel the shoulders gently wrapping behind it. Opening and offering your heart space And feeling this release. And can you feel the chin float away from the heart? Notice how that creates a clear corridor for breath. A restorative back bend like this one has the ability to truly nourish us. So important to make sure that we are giving it the space that it needs. Especially during times of intensity and stress and moments where we really have to focus our energy outside of us. And to know that it's really vital for our self-care routine and to be more introspective. And to create a safe and supportive space in which we can unfold. Rejuvenate, replenish. And that way, we have enough fuel for our fire. And that we can be strong and supportive when we need to be. Allow the jaw and the face to soften, the tongue to slide down into the base of your throat. And over the course of these next few moments, can you even feel the heaviness of your brain, the back side of the body as it sinks downwards into the floor? Take another breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Bringing some conscious movement back into the body in whatever way you like. You're welcome to continue to stay here and rest or close your practice with me. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. And slowly roll off of your blanket roll onto one side. And gently pressing yourself up to sit. And crossing your legs or just finding a comfortable seat. Let's close our practice in the same way that we began. So fold your hands together in front of your heart, a little bow of your chin down to your chest, and this feeling of lightness and levity and the upper chest, and even in your throat. And taking a moment to pause, to honor the lives of our brothers and our sisters that have been lost. And taking another moment to honor the preciousness of the time that we take to rest, to replenish and refuel our resources, and so that we can be of service to others. And bowing your head down to your heart, let's close with one round of breath. Take a deep breath in and exhale out. And thank you so much for joining me here today. Hopefully I'll see you out there.